Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out 2 Point Museum. Specifically, we'll be looking at the new Fantasy Finds DLC that I'll be releasing on July 17th, 2025. This video is going to focus more on that DLC. I'll be giving you some beginner tips and a quick overview of what this new DLC entails, so you'll be able to jump right in and get started on your journey. The biggest change involves the new fantasy expert. Now, there's all sorts of experts. There's botany, there's prehistoric, there's aquatic, so on. These fantasy experts will come in 4 different subclasses. You'll have a barbarian, a rogue, a wizard, and bard. As you're looking to hire these staff members, check to see what subclass they are, because that will affect their starting attributes. Yes, there are actual RPG attributes in this game, and you'll see how that affects events later on. But the first tip I want to give you really is when you're hiring staff, just look to see who you're hiring. Don't make the mistake of quickly hiring a bunch of these guys and then finding out, oh, they're all bards, because that will affect their starting stat. Barbarians have a lot of strength, rogues have a lot of dexterity, wizards have a lot of intelligence, and bards have a lot of luck. So if you're going to be hiring a bunch, make sure you get one of each, at least. Now, why are you caring so much about attributes? Well, when you go on an expedition, your experts will add up their total strength, dexterity, intelligence, and luck, and compare that with the possible events that will take place in that expedition. If you don't have enough intelligence, this thing might happen. Or if you don't have enough strength, this might happen. So it's very important that you do bring a variety of different people into your employ so that you can handle the different events as they pop up. But Vince, what if I want to employ a bunch of bards and try and send them out on these missions anyway? I mean, you could try. In fact, you can even level them up. As they gain levels, they will also gain XP, and by extension, you can level up their attributes. If you click on a particular crew member or fantasy expert and go to their panel and then scroll down a bit, you'll be able to level them up and assign skill points into the different attributes. So you could, in theory, have a bard that has 10 luck, but then buff up their strength if you want to. So you can have like a super strong bard if you want to, or a wizard that's better with agility. It's up to you. But I highly recommend prioritizing one guy to do one thing, only because there are certain events that require a rogue to have 15 dexterity or a barbarian to have 20 strength and so on. So specializing isn't a bad thing. Don't neglect your Enlightenment. This particular DLC does introduce some new fantasy items that you can only get if you break down fantasy items in the deconstructor. And you can do that with any theme, really, but this new fantasy theme will have new items. So don't hesitate to break crap down, level up their knowledge, and as a result, get a bunch of cool new stuff. The last thing I want to touch on before I go are potions. Yes, potions are going to be a new thing in this as well. You're going to need someone that has the ability to brew potions, and that is a skill that you can teach them in your employee training area. If you build one, you should have one. Anyway, so you'll start off with like a growth potion, for example, and by constructing these growth potions, they will assist you in your various expeditions. Just like the plant camouflage does in certain situations, or the drill, you're going to have a whole new range of potions to try out and give yourself buffs in certain situations. Now, like I said, you will need to train one of your fantasy members in that potion making skill, or potion expert skill, I think it's called. So make sure that you're reserving a free slot or 2 for that endeavor. You'll simply go to your workshop and queue them up like you would any other item, and you'll construct them. And you will need them, like I said, in certain events in order to pass areas entirely, so don't neglect them. And that ought about do it. Like I said, this was a quick primer to help you get started. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. And if you have any extra tips that you'd like to give new players for this particular DLC, feel free to leave them in the comments below. This is Vince, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.